with Mark. This is the first time that I've done an interview like an afternoon. A singer-songwriter award-winning artist, award voting member. So I don't know what's going on, but like I said, we're waiting for our guest. She'll be on shortly. So we are waiting for her to connect it. Get her on, get started. In the meantime, what's going on this afternoon? Around 6. There she goes. All right. There we go. All right.
The link that you just shared me, that one was working.
Okay. Oh, here we go. And my apologies. I don't know what's been going on with this software. But it's a work.
Okay.
I'm happy to have you on the show this afternoon. What time is it over there?
Oh, it's just about 1:40 or something like that.
Okay, so it ain't that.
1:40 in the morning.
Morning. Okay. 37.
You seem to be buffering. Yeah, that's a slight buffer.
Okay. So it's a delay. So I want to tell you a bit about, now before I go into this, your name the right way. Is it Lyia?
Lyia, as in Princess Leia from Star Wars.
Oh, Princess Leia. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. All right, so we have Meta, and today she is a Grammy Award voting member. She is also an award-winning artist. I have her bio. I'm gonna read it for you. She is a member of the Recording Academy and vote member, international multi-singer, songwriter, song. She writes for her column Through Corridors for the international indie music magazine, Lazy Indie Music magazine, where she artists and pens on topics that resonate with her within the musical stratosphere. She's performed Texas indie. Lyia was born in Malaysia and currently is based in the country's capital city, Meta. Finds greatest influences in rock and blues. Lead 5 genres in every project she creates, consistently delivering a refreshing sound that speaks to listeners across generations worldwide. Meta is inspiring passion for craft and her phenomenal ability to in and out multiple genres, including metal and country, has led her to remarkable acclaim the globe. Upon the release of her debut EP, This Is Lyia, she immediately garnered stunning recognition, receiving 6 nominations and the awards for Best Overall Female Act at Voice Independent Music Awards. Raw or striking reflection. The EP striking reflection of in the national circuit. And so he has done a lot. You have
yeah.
so check it out.
You're breaking up, so I can't hear.
Yeah, that was a party right there. So where did you perform? Where was that performance at?
That was in India. I performed in India, and they had this amazing crowd. I mean, I wouldn't have expected it, because that was my first time in India at that time, and I didn't expect it because I wasn't going to a huge city. I was going to Kerala, and it was it was in Kovalam. It's the beach side, very close to the beach side, and people are not so. I think that was their first really huge major festival there, music festival that brought in international artists, and I wasn't expecting the kind of reception that I received from the people. It was just amazing, and I've since returned to India again because they really liked having me, and it's a good feeling when people really like what you do.
And so with that being said, so how did you get your start in music?
Well, I come from a family that we're all musically inclined. So music has been a part of my life from the time I was a toddler, It's not something that's unusual for me. I think despite everything, I was very reluctant to pursue music as a career. But I think the universe has a way of making things fall in place the way it wants it to fall into place, and I didn't look for it; they came looking for me. So I pursued other interests. I went into a day job. I did a lot of stuff that took me away from music, but music found its way back to me, and I have not left it since. It's just a part of who I am, and I don't regret being in the music industry or pursuing music as a full-time job. I'm a full-time musician. I don't have a day job at all. I live entirely on my gigs and my shows and stuff like that. Of course, after the pandemic, things have slowed down a little because the climb back up into what things were takes some time. But overall, I'm a full-time musician and also a visual artist.
Yeah. So you do and stuff like graphic design. Is that what that is, or?
No, I do fine art, contemporary art. So I paint I paint a lot of huge pieces on canvas. I put them into art galleries, and we have exhibitions or group exhibitions. And then I also take a lot of commissioned work. So I do a lot of portraits. I do a lot of different. Just like I'm a multi-genre, I also work with different mediums as far as my art is concerned. So I need to express myself differently all the time. I think that is where my multi-genre, my love for doing different genres came from. It's because inside of me, this need to express myself differently all the time is very important.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So I'm curious. I'm never is it with entertainment and music and visual arts? How popular?
I'm assuming you asked me about Malaysia because I didn't hear the last part. Okay.
Yes.
Malaysia, I would say we have because we come from that multicultural. We are multicultural, so it's not unusual for anybody to be speaking 4 different languages. I speak three different languages. One not so well. I'm supposed to be able to speak 4, but the music industry here is as colorful as our culture, our different cultures.
Okay.
So we have traditional music. We have the Chinese. They have the Chinese traditional music. Then we have Chinese pop music. We have Portuguese. I'm Portuguese, so we have Portuguese traditional music. We have the majority of people here are Malay Malays, so we are a Muslim country, and so a
Okay.
lot of the music that is you often hear over the airways are also music sung in that language. So
Yeah.
it's a very
Uh-huh.
colorful, scene in the music industry here. But the live
Mhm.
scene, the live music scene, is extremely vibrant. You
Mhm.
have, okay, I'm going to go back to before the pandemic. We have
Mhm.
places on to 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning with live music, you know,
Live
all the
music too.
time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really very colorful, and there are a lot of places. Coffee houses, we have pubs, we have clubs, we have hotel lounges, we have everything, and it's
Mhm.
all condensed to this small little peninsula of Malaysia. We are a very small country. We are a peninsula,
Yeah.
and it's dotted all over in all the states. Everywhere we have a lot of music. We have a lot of there's a lot of art, of course, because it's part of our
Mhm.
culture. You know, so,
So,
as far as music and art, I think Malaysia is thriving and it's doing very well.
yeah. So, what's the population out there in Malaysia?
Goodness, no idea. A couple of million.
Would
I have
you
no idea.
say who is like the ambassador of music and entertainment right now? Be people spectrum. Like, who would you
On a
say?
global
Like,
stage,
if like American like me, who would I know either in, I would say, TV entertainment or music entertainment that came from that area? Because I was
I
thinking the
don't think you will know anybody.
Bollywood
But
is the Bollywood
well, I
type
think
of movies.
in India is really huge. So Bollywood, you probably know almost every name that you should
Right.
know. The
Uh-huh.
Americans would probably know in America itself.
Right.
There's a huge population of people from India who've settled in America. So, but Malaysia, I
Mhm.
don't think so. Have you heard of
Not
this
so.
artist Yuna? Have you heard of this artist Yuna?
That name sounds familiar. Yeah, that name down.
Yeah, but
That's somebody that's thriving.
yeah, well, she's actually she was big in not big. So she made it in a way in America. I mean, the story goes that she was discovered on MySpace and stuff like that. But I don't know whether the
I think I
Americans
know you're
actually
talking about.
know. Yeah, I don't, yeah. So that's the only Malaysian that I know of that you
Okay.
would probably know of.
Right.
But there are some
Well, the reason,
big names in the Malaysian industry here, but it's all kind of centered to our region,
yeah, where I was going with that question is, like, how hard has it been for you? Because I've looked at your bio and I've seen that you did some like incredible collaboration with all over the world. How hard has that been? Because it's like in where I'm from, it's already hard. It's mentally hard to get collaborations with people that have credentials. But it looks like I was reading that you've done a song or two with Bob McGilpin, and you've done things. You performed in Texas. You've done, like, how hard has that been in your career, being from there and collaborating with?
It's I wouldn't say it was easy. It was actually a little bit hard to break into any sort of market initially. It's geography, and it's difficult making the right connections. But I've been fortunate in meeting the right people because I'm constantly trying to break through the noise. And I think my debut album that I put out earlier in my career made a huge difference in this, because it allowed people to to hear who I was, who I am as an artist. I introduced myself first as an artist, and so they wanted to work with me. As for the collaborations, the one collaboration that actually kind of steered me into bigger markets is with 𝗟𝗬𝗜𝗔. So she's this songwriter from Los Angeles. Now the story is that she pursued me relentlessly until I said yes to doing her songs. But the truth, I also was doing a couple of my songs at that time, and it's not that I was being difficult or anything, but I don't think it was meant to be at that time. But when it finally did happen, it all just fell into place like a jigsaw puzzle that was meant to come together. And so 𝗟𝗬𝗜𝗔 has been instrumental at, I had done at that point, I'd done country, I'd done EDM, I did a bit of metal, I did pop, I did gothic rock, I did rock, I did a lot of stuff. But I never wanted to do jazz, because jazz for me was something that it's a very deep topic. It's not something you just skirt through, you know?
Right. You gotta, it's meaningful. You gotta have passion in it.
You have to have a calling for it. You have to have a calling for it. It's not something. And I still won't say that the songs I do is jazz, you know, but it's very jazz pop, because you need to put a name to the work that you're doing, the genre. So what happened was, she gave me license as a fellow songwriter and a performer. She gave me license to take her songs and turn it any way I wanted. I could change the arrangements and do whatever I wanted to it, as long as I recorded her songs. And so I hunted down a good producer. I was looking for a good producer, and once again, it's through the connections that I made over time since my earlier years in the independent scene. I met Bob McGilpin through a fellow musician and artist, 𝗟𝗬𝗜𝗔 Persiano, who was working with him.
I know her, yeah. I know 𝗟𝗬𝗜𝗔.
Yeah, she's really incredible. I mean, 𝗟𝗬𝗜𝗔 is an incredible person. She's an incredible person, and she's extremely supportive of other artists. And she was telling me, you know, I think you should try Bob, because, you know, and I did. And Bob was really very happy with what I sent him. He liked my voice, and so we worked together, and we haven't looked back since, because we have already worked on 2 albums, 2 singles, and we are now working on our 3rd album together.
Wow.
So this 3rd album will also be with 𝗟𝗬𝗜𝗔. So I've worked on 3 albums with 𝗟𝗬𝗜𝗔.
Yeah. So now y'all got a relate.
We have a professional relationship, and I've also remained in this genre, the jazz pop genre, for 3 albums. So that's
now
my express myself first. If I wrote a song in a way that I said I needed it to be done in a pop genre or a rock genre, I would just pursue that. But this is the only time that I've stayed with the jazz pop genre, because 𝗟𝗬𝗜𝗔's lyrics speak to me that way. You know, there's a story behind all the lyrics. So the genre is just a vehicle.
Yeah, that's it. And well, you know, I'm glad you said that, because my next question would be how important, you know, just based off what you've said, because I've experienced this for years, that multi-pitch. You have to play so many different hands. So with you saying that, even though you really didn't care too much to be a jazz artist at first, but now that's part of your resume. You've done jazz songs. How important is it for an artist to be doing an artist a song or a jazz song, or, you know, an artist that comes in with the, let's say, philosophy that I'm just gonna be a pop singer, but then you get an opportunity to collaborate with some award-winning songwriters who aren't pop singers, who are rock, songwriters and jazz songwriters. How important is that, do you think, for an artist just to have an open mind?
I think it's very important to have an open mind, because one is, if you don't open yourself to different genres, I mean, I know everybody tells you to pick a lane.
Mm-hmm.
Now, picking a lane is actually more, in my opinion, my humble opinion, picking a lane is more because the record companies need to sell you. They cannot sell you as a multi-genre artist. They need to sell you as a rock pop or something, because it makes it easier for them. For me, if you do not try to come out of your comfort zone, you're not going to grow. That is my opinion. I always believe that growth is important, even in little increments. You should try. You shouldn't say no. I'm going to try.
Right.
That's my opinion. The part of the that wasn't clear to me, because you're working, assuming this was the question that
Yes. Hold that.
you asked me. And you get an opportunity.
This is buffering real bad right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can hear you.
Okay. I
No.
think if you get an opportunity, for example, to work with an artist who sings a different language, you should do it. A different genre, you should do it, because you can only learn from it. It does not mean it might not it might be a flop. You never know how it'll turn out, but you should do it, because if you don't, you won't grow.
Yeah.
As an artist.
So, that's how I feel too. Think about someone as popular as a Beyonce doing a country album now. Never in her career has she ever done this, but she's doing it and she's succeeding in it. And like you said, you don't necessarily have to succeed, but to do it, you can just do it.
You got to try it. That's right.
Yeah.
You got to try it. Yeah. Why not? If someone were to ask me today to sing an opera with them, I will I'll make it happen.
You try it. Yeah, you gotta try it once. Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, you have to try, because if it's, I don't know. I also believe in the fact that if it wasn't meant for you, it wouldn't have come to you. The opportunity wouldn't have been presented to you. So if it's presented to you, there must be a reason why. So before you turn it down, because you're only turning it down because you are afraid of the challenge, or making a fool of yourself, or not succeeding, if that is the reason, then you're not going to get anywhere. Because I always tell myself, there's a reason why it came to me. So let's do this. So when Nate told me I'm going to could we meet for an interview, I said, well, I didn't expect Nate to ask me for an interview. So let's do this.
Right, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. And I've always been one to be like, you got to learn how to fail before you learn how to win.
Exactly. Very true.
If a winner, you're gonna feel terrible. But if you've lost before, and you win,
I tell you, when I first started in this industry, every single door I knocked on was a no. I always had a no. It is just nobody said yes to me, and so I told myself, whenever I approach any project, I always tell myself, it's going to be no, or it's not going to work out, but you're going to give your best. You make sure you do your best. And
give it your best shot every time.
That's all you can do. Just do your best.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a couple more questions before we end this interview. Now, give me a short
Give it
description
your
of
best shot.
your first album.
That's
Then
the
I want
only.
a description of
Okay.
your latest.
Okay, my first album was titled This Is Lyia, with all songs written by me. All right. Now, I wanted to introduce my listeners to who I was, aside from what I do usually during my gigs. I perform in cover bands. Okay, I perform covers only. So I wanted to introduce this side of me, and I had a little bit of pop rock. I had a bit of rock, a bit of pop folk kind of thing, going on. And I had a song that was written in English but translated to our local language, our national language, that's Malay, by a very well-known author, and she helped translate it for me. 𝗟𝗚𝗜𝗔, her name was, and that is the album that introduced myself to the world.
Yeah.
I've written over maybe nearly 200 songs or less than that, slightly less than that probably. But I've never shared my music with anyone because I've always been very hard on myself. I think I'm too hard on myself.
We all
that
are.
was my So that's my first album. It went on to, surprisingly, it went on and won me the Voice Independent Music Asia Awards for Best Female Artist. That album won me that. And then that same year, it gave me the nomination for our local Grammy. That is the Anugerah Industry Music. So it's equivalent to the Grammy Awards here.
Oh, okay.
Artist.
That's
I didn't
incredible. First album.
But I was nominated top 5 new artists, best new artist.
That's a wonderful thing.
Always you. Always you. Oops. Can you?
It kind of cut out for a minute, but now I can hear you.
Okay. So my latest album is Always You. It was released in June of 2023, and he has all 8 songs written by 𝗟𝗚𝗜𝗔 and produced by Bob and Jean and myself. And what is there to say about the album except that the idea, the concept for the album was to create something timeless, something that you could listen to 10 years or 20 years from now and it would still be relevant. That sounds would still be relevant because you've heard it before. You always feel like you've heard. I've heard this song before, but it's not something that's been sung before. It is an original. It wasn't like a Tony Bennett song or whatever, but it sounds like it could have been written by him or it could have been sung by him, that kind of thing. So that was what I was shooting for, and the feedback was that we achieved that. So I'm quite excited with the fact that we did that album, and now we have something else that will follow up the Always You album. It's going to be a continual. It's a continuous story that is being told. It's a tapestry I'm weaving. So meanwhile, while this tapestry is being woven, I have this another song that I released that's with Marianne Heyman. I think I got it right. She wrote this jazz song, and she's a friend of 𝗟𝗚𝗜𝗔, so we did a song together. I just released it this month. That's titled Memorabilia. Now, Memorabilia adds to the puzzle that I'm trying to create. It adds to the tapestry. Right. So
Wow.
That's very interesting. It
Sound like you got a lot of
it's
creativity in your music.
I don't know whether it's in the same vein.
Mm-hmm.
And about
What'd you say? What was that last part you
all
said?
that was happening, and I decided to do it 6 years ago. So 10th anniversary, having landed in the States and having performed live. Can you hear me?
Well, now I
Hello?
can. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah. So what happened was, while we did memorabilia, but just before memorabilia, my producer and myself, Mo, my producer, he pitched this idea to me of doing a Beatles song, because it was like the 60th anniversary of the Beatles having come to
like a remake.
America. Yeah, so we reimagined one of the songs that they sang live for the first time on the Ed Sullivan Show 60 years ago. Okay,
so you did the remake of it.
We did a reimagining, so it doesn't
reimagine it. Okay.
The chord structures are all the same, but we did it from a pop song. We made it to a jazz pop song.
Oh, okay.
So it has all the orchestra stuff and everything happening, and it's very nice. So that's what's happened so far. And now soon I have another. Soon. I'm talking a little bit fast because it's all the energy that I imported from my show, and I'm home now.
Yeah, you gotta. That adrenaline's still up. You got that adrenaline. Well, you got a lot of. Hey, you could probably perform for another 2 hours now. You know.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I used to, Nate. I used to perform a few years ago. I used to perform 6 sets a night.
Wow.
6 sets, and I perform alone.
Oh my
I'm
God.
the only vocalist. I'm the vocalist. 99% of the songs are mine in the show. Now
it's
I do
like running a marathon every night.
It's like running a marathon. Oh wow, it's crazy. What's crazy? Yeah, but this is what's happening right now. I'm working on new music. I'm very excited that I've got new music, and I'm also a part of this new global album that's coming out, where we have 29 artists performing on it. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Who's bringing that out?
It'll be better and better and better.
So who's bringing that project out? Like, is it a label, or is it kind of like a mixture of a whole bunch of artists?
Okay, the brain behind it is Stephen Chesney.
Okay.
So he's this very well respected producer. And
I know him. Yep, I know him too.
He's had this. I mean, his music has been in films, a lot of films, and it's Batman, a couple of other films, the animated series, Batman and the animated series. That's right, and a few other. There's a lot. I can't go through it now because I don't really know what they are. But he's really well respected in his field, and he's got 79 artists from all over the world singing in their language.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful right there. That's the type of music and type of collective that like the world should hear. That's a great opportunity. I'm happy for you on that. So my question would be to you is that where can we find your music, and where can the fans and the audience that are listening in and that will be listening in, where can they find you?
They can find me all over the planet on every streaming platform. My name is Lyia Lyia Meta. You can find me on 𝗟𝗚𝗜𝗜𝗓.com. Subscribe to my mailing list, please, so that it's so difficult to get you guys to subscribe.
It is, yeah.
Please subscribe so that I can keep you informed on what's happening. All right. But meanwhile, listen to my music, because it is very, very nice when people listen to my music. You get paid 0.01 cent per stream, right?
God. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yes.
So it's really not about the money. It's about that 3 minutes of your time. So I really love it if you guys listen to my work.
And then last but not least.
And by the way, I don't drink at.
Oh, I stopped drinking 3 years ago. So yeah, I trust me, I get it. What'd you say? I missed that last part. Hello? You still there?
Can't hear you.
Oh, okay. There, I think it froze up. There you go.
Yeah, froze up.
Gotta love the internet. There you go.
I know.
So you say you stopped. You don't drink. Completely sober.
No, I don't drink and I don't smoke. So what you are seeing here is someone who's extremely high on life.
Always, yeah, and with a lot of energy. A lot of energy, yeah.
A lot of energy.
So last but not least, what would you want to tell an inspiring artist from anywhere in the world, like what helpful hint or motivation or anything inspiring that you want to tell someone that's just getting started?
No, I think the most important thing is there are no shortcuts. There never is a shortcut. Don't ever think that you've made it, because there's never such thing as you've made it. Every step you take is just a step to another step. So you are forever going to be working at it. Don't give up, don't give up. And always just remain humble, because I think it's very important to remain humble and just be yourself, but enjoy the journey meanwhile, because it's going to be a very long journey.
Oh yeah.
Long journey. So you
I agree with you on that.
If you're not in for the long haul, you better not go into music.
Amen, right there. That right there alone is powerful words. Well, we appreciate your time, and I apologize for the interruptions with the technical difficulties, but this was a wonderful interview. This is a wonderful interview. You will be able to rebroadcast this due to us having it on YouTube and LinkedIn and all the rest of the platforms. So once again, we will talk again, Lyia. I appreciate your time here. For all the people that listened and tuned in, we appreciate your time. But we're going to get off of here and enjoy the rest of your day, Lyia. And everybody else, enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you, Nate.
All right, have a good one.